Hey there. Today we are switching it up a little. This may be a little more difficult or have a little more steps to it than what we usually make, but this is what we're having for dinner, and I thought it might be something fun to do for our video. We are going to make a mozzarella stuffed breaded chicken breast. And so while it may have more steps, and that's sometimes intimidating to people, I always tell my students, just take it one step at a time. And if you do that, it's really not as complicated as it seems when you look at it all together. Okay, so the first step is we're going to use boneless, skinless chicken breasts, and we're going to butterfly them. Okay, and if you don't know what butterfly is, it just kind of means cutting something in half or creating a pocket. I like to say that we're creating a pocket because it's really what I'm going for here. Okay, so if you look, we have our chicken breast. I've already cut a pocket in there, you can see, okay? And we're gonna stuff it with mozzarella. So I have my mozzarella here in a bowl. And always remember when you're dealing with raw chicken or any raw meat or anything like that, that you wanna wash your hands often. So after I'm done handling this, before I move on to the next stage, I'll be washing my hands again. Okay, so I am going to put a bunch of mozzarella in here. You want lots of cheese, right? Who's not wanting that? Okay, so we're gonna just stuff our little pocket in our chicken with lots of mozzarella. You can put other things in here too. Sometimes I might put spinach with it in here, or you can use a different kind of cheese. Really and truly, you can stuff them with lots of different things. You can use stuffing, whatever you want. Okay, so just kind of try to get it all in there. Let's see. And when you do, you want to try to just pull your edges back together. You don't have to secure them with anything, nothing like that. Okay, so we just kind of stuff that in there and close it up. Okay, now we'll do the second one. Okay, okay. Just kind of push it down in there. Just like you would fill anything else. If you've ever made stuffed shells, it's very similar. Okay. Okay. Great. Ooh, it's going to be so good. And then close it up. Okay, so once you have your chicken breasts full of your filling, in this case mozzarella cheese, I'm going to season them. So I'm going to put salt and pepper on them, and I'm going to wash my hands first. So as soon as I come back, I'll show you how to season them. Okay, so I have washed my hands once more, and now I'm going to go ahead and put salt and pepper on my chicken breast. Okay, so don't be afraid of your salt. You use it as a flavor enhancer. And so you really want to put it all over, and it'll also help create a nice crust on your chicken. So don't be afraid. Okay, let me see. Okay. All right. Okay. So we have our stuffed chicken breasts, and we have seasoned them. And the next thing we're going to do is we're going to coat them with our breading. So I have here our little breading station, which is really the best way to go about it, is to know what you need, have it ready to go before you get started. So first of all, I have 2 eggs in here, and we've whipped them up. I've taken a fork and really gotten in there and mixed them so that they are well mixed together. There's no clumps of white in there, anything like that. Okay, then we have flour here, and I have some seasoned breadcrumbs. Now these are panko breadcrumbs. I like them the best because I think they get the crispiest, the best crunch on them. You can use whatever kind of breadcrumbs you want. I only had plain, so I threw some roasted garlic seasoning in there. You could put anything you want in there. You can add Italian seasoning. That would be really good. Anything at all that you want. You can also add seasonings to your flour, anything to build those layers of flavor that we're always looking for, okay? That's the difference between something that's awesome and something that's just okay. All right, so we're going to go egg, we're going to go flour, We're going to go egg, and we're going to go breading. Okay, so egg, flour, back to the egg, to our breading. Okay, so I'm going to lay them on this piece of wax paper until I'm done with them both. Just have somewhere for them to go. Okay, so here we go. Now, what I would recommend is try to use one hand as your dipping hand. That way you don't end up getting a bunch of goo on both of your hands and it makes you feel like you can't get anything done. So try to use one hand for the messy stuff. And then I have a fork here to help me kind of get the flour and crumbs over both sides of the chicken, and you can flip it around and all that good stuff. So let's go ahead and get started. So we have our egg first. We're just going to take our chicken breast. We're going to put our egg in there. Okay. Make sure that it gets nice and coated. Flip it over. Okay. Excellent. Try to keep it closed up the best you can. Don't worry if you lose a little cheese. Okay. Then we're going to lay it in our flour. Okay. If you don't want to mess with it too much, you know, you can do it this way. You can kind of fold it over. Coat it all over. Okay. Once you have that, we're going to go back to our egg. Okay, so you can see. I'm just going to put it in, flip it around. Make sure that it's well coated. And then we're going to go from there to our bread. Okay? Okay. Set it in there. See what I mean? Gooey. But this way, I only have one hand that's gooey, which is good. Over. Just get it really, really well. Press them in there so that they stay. You can see, kind of pressing it down so that it's nicely coated. Now this won't be like a fried chicken coating. It'll just be a nice crispy outer crust. Thin, not heavy. Just adding all that flavor. Okay? Then I'm going to put it over here on my wax paper until we're ready to stick it in our skillet. Okay? Because we're going to pan fry them. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and do the rest of my chicken, and then I'll show you how to fry them up.